What's up, you guys? How are y'all doing? This is the official first episode of 1207 Podcast. Woo! Woo, 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 woo. We are so happy that you all could be here, and thank you for tuning in. Before we get started, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Um, we would really appreciate the love. And let's just go ahead and get straight into it. But before we get straight into it, happy birthday to
Thank you so
my
much.
babe.
Thank you so much.
He is the big 30.
Right.
The
Cash
big
App sign. Like, what's my Cash App? Hold on.
Not you finna get people the wrong cash app. So
No,
you
that's
gotta be
why,
you
that's
gotta
why
be ready.
I'm double checking.
You gotta be ready. So you should have been had that pulled up.
Let me see here.
The big
Cash App
30.
sign. Senior, that's SR, capital S, capital R, 1207. Isn't that something?
Him and his senior.
1207.
Oh, that's part of your cash app. Oh wow.
You know, you don't Cash App me a lot. somebody know that it always be Cash Apping them. They know about hard. His Cash App, boom, 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 boom.
Okay, bam. Since you want to say that, what's my cash app?
Jaco Beauty.
Wrong.
What is it?
It's the Hub TC.
That ain't your Cash App.
Well, what was my old cash app? You right, because we transferred. What was my old cash app? Before we made that the church cash app. What was my old one?
Jaco Beauty. Am I right?
That's just easy though.
Which means you just said all that for nothing.
That's just easy.
So did you just say all that for nothing? Agree. Just agree to that.
I guess.
Okay. That was something. You could have kept all that. So thank you all for tuning in. Please go ahead and like and subscribe. We plan on doing this once a week, just coming together
Every Thursday.
Yes, every Thursday. Coming together, having good conversation. Marriage based conversation. For those of you who are married, for those of you who aspire to be married, for those of you who have been divorced and you feel like marriage is not in your future, but there's this tingling feeling on the inside that you just feel that maybe your husband or your wife will come in due season. Okay. So we want to deal with a very interesting topic today.
Can I say something though before we get
Go
started?
ahead.
Because he left these few things out. So not only, of course, are we going to be marriage based, but we have to understand that we are two individual people trying to become one. So although we are going to be marriage based, we still going to be talking about men as individuals, women as individuals, and the things and the qualities of a man, of a woman that is necessary to make a relationship and a marriage work. So it's gonna be a lot of mirror talking that, y'all gotta prepare yourselves to do. But go ahead, let's start.
Yes. So the question is, what do you do when when the person you aspire to be your spouse has changed up on you, and you wake up one day and you realize, I don't know who I'm married to, or I don't know who I'm about to marry. I need to relearn you. And this is interesting because me and Janai, we've been through that maybe a couple times. I don't know.
I mean, I was 19.
Right.
You was 20.
I just turned 20. I'm talking about, I was barely 20.
Because you just turned
Right.
20.
My
You got
birthday
married
in
December.
October.
You turned 20 in October.
We got married in December, right? So I really was still 19. It don't matter. I was 20. It is what it is. Every time I say I was not, we both of us was 19. First thing you say is he was 20. I was 19.
Because you were. You was already.
So,
I was 19. He was 20 when we got married.
If we got married October the 22nd, you'd have said, you would have been cool if I would have said.
I would have said you was 19 because your birthday the 23rd. Don't dwell on that. Keep going.
It's so difficult.
Just keep going.
It's just so difficult. Anywho.
It's not. It's correct.
There was a time when me and my beloved,
Mhm.
we woke up and we just realized I don't know this person. Everything I say seemed to be frustrating her. Everything she say just got under my skin. And I can recall very vividly one day Janaya was like, I don't even know you anymore. You know what I said? This preacher pastor. You know what I said? Hell, I don't know me either. That's just the place we was in though.
Yeah.
It's like we didn't know each other. I mean, we knew of each other,
Right.
but because life brings about so many different changes, and we are constantly evolving, literally.
Correct.
And the person that you met is not the person that you married. Is not the person that you're married to. Is not the person that you will be married to.
Constantly evolving.
Yes.
Constantly evolving. And honestly, I feel like, of course, I knew you because you as a person, like the qualities and the characteristics of you were not necessarily changing. Like, I still knew who Dorian was, you know what I'm saying, at his core. However, how you liked to be, like, your love language, for one, your love language changed. Like, your love language
You
changed.
know what's interesting about that?
What?
I don't think I know my love language.
I know your love language.
I don't. I mean. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Other than that, though, I mean, we gotta look that up because I never really got into that. You know,
What,
I just
love language?
never love.
I mean, that can be another episode.
Oh, that's cool. It could be next episode then.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I know your love language because I pay attention to the response I get when I do a particular thing.
I think my love language is to the core.
Are you finna get raw on this?
No, I ain't gonna get
podcast?
right to the core. I ain't gonna. We not going sexual.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just saying, just day to day. I think my love language would be, man, just don't be getting on my nerves.
You definitely don't like being questioned
most
a lot.
definitely. I don't like
That's
being
that.
questioned,
Yeah, that is yes. You dislike unnecessary questions.
Right. I think most people like that. It's just
No,
it frustrates me a little bit more than they do.
because
other
I don't
people.
mind unnecessary questions.
Oh, you don't.
I mean, to a certain extent.
Anywho,
I'm just.
man, this girl don't be liking nobody. Dorian, I got this.
I mean, that ain't unnecessary questions. That's you questioning my ability. That's different.
It's the semantics. We can't get into what words mean this episode. You see what's happening right now? Y'all see this? We trying to be as
I just
Dorian.
say you supposed to get started.
We trying to be
You
as
the one
Dorian
that
and
keep
Janai as
doing
possible,
it.
but it's just oozing out our pores. We can't help it. So y'all getting raw and uncut.
I've been
Dorian
saying,
and Janai. Anywho,
I don't know how to do script.
if and when you find yourself in this situation, we think the first thing you should do is just be honest about it.
For sure.
So, men, let's just start here. I have literally witnessed a multiplicity of men, literally macho, big dogs from the hood, can just tell it how it is, but can't even talk to their wife. And this is how I put this. You a man, your balls hang out in public, but at the house, you just hang them outside the door. And you gotta be able. You sleep with this woman. This woman can do all kind of stuff to you while you sleep. This woman cook for you, or she cooking something for you. She doing something for you that you are digesting.
Mm-hmm.
How in the world do you think you lucky that you can't even have a conversation with her? A simple suggestion. Hey, who are you right now?
Mm-hmm.
Having the balls to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just coming from a man's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Woman. But man, having the balls to be honest and saying, I am not sure who I'm talking to right now because who I was just talking to last week, I'm not talking to today.
Mhm.
But I love you enough to get to know that person. I want to know you from every angle.
Mhm.
That's the kind of honesty that's needed. I want to know you from every angle. I want to know what you're thinking right now. I want to know why you're thinking this. I want to
Mhm.
know the cognition that got you to this point that made you say what you just said. What is happening?
The approach is definitely key in being honest. So, from both perspective, from both sides, from men and women, if you're going to say those words that you just said, which is you don't know who you're talking to right now, or whatever the case may be, the approach matters.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just be, how can I say this? This is not wanting to get into detail of love language, but this is when knowing how your partner likes to be communicated with
Yeah.
matters, and you have to know this.
Yeah.
Because just personally, you got some married people like they can curse with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I'm not finna use any words that's gonna make you feel that's gonna leave space and opportunity for it to be taken the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So
understand.
I'm going to be as respectful as possible, as well as using your name. You know what I'm saying? Bae, Dorian, all the things. I bet not dare approach my man and say anything other than who you are to me.
Right.
My husband, Bae, Dorian, listen handsome. Like, calling, and I don't know why I'm being led to say this, but calling your man anything other than what he is and what his respectful place is,
Yeah.
if you calling him anything other than that, it's a no-no. You better not ever fix your mouth to call a man a female dog. Look it
terrible.
up, the definition
It's
of
terrible.
it. That is trash.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? In our generation, I have witnessed that a lot. That was so disgusting, son. I have witnessed that a lot to where you wonder why y'all communication sucks. You wonder why your man is not as open as you would like for him to be, as honest as you would like for him to be. Look how you talk to him. Look how you talk to him. Look how you communicate with him. Look how you approach him. You little boy him. There's no way that you can expect a man to be how you would like for him to be, to express himself, to be honest, to feel like he can come to you and be open and tell you, things that how he feels pertaining to how you did something, or, he's seeing the change in you and all the things, and you don't even know how to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when it comes down to being honest, know how to communicate with your partner. Know how to respect your partner while you're communicating with them, despite how you feel at the time. Keep the respect level.
Man, if you're probably asking yourself, well, what if I tried to be honest before and it
Okay.
didn't go well?
Mm-hmm.
Try again.
Yeah. Grace.
Because I can't understand though. I really can't understand. So, you're trying to build this relationship, this conversational relationship with your spouse where y'all actually trying to be friends. Y'all can converse in a way
Right.
that you talking to your
your
guy, you talking to
bestie.
your friend,
Yeah.
right? I'm not gonna say bestie. I don't know why I can't say that.
I'm gonna say bestie.
Right.
But you can say
Friend.
your homie, your guy, you know. What I'm saying?
Confidant.
That's just a dude thing. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say bestie. Anyway.
That's my bestie. That's my best
So
friend.
you've tried multiple times, and every time you kind of get the same response. And what they do is just say, well, you know what? I'm just not gonna talk about it at all.
Right.
And so you go in your own psychological corner, and you suffering. Y'all having sex, but you suffering. Y'all eating dinner together with the fam, but you suffer. Y'all going to Sunday dinners or Friday night coffee or whatever the case may be. Y'all chilling, but you suffering because you can be a man everywhere else, but in your own house. You can be honest, you can be real, you can tell it how it is everywhere else, but in your own house. And if you are telling it like it is, if you're trying to tell it like it is, like my wife said, it's how you tell it like it is. You got to keep your emotions in check, bro.
Correct.
I mean, because I don't understand tears myself. Like, if you're talking to me emotionally without logic and without like structure and composure, and you just all out of whack, I don't hear you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense to me why, when we having a serious conversation, that you have to get emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just saying, this just for the emotional men out here, because, hey, women are the only ones that's emotional.
Correct.
Think about when men, when they get emotional, things get loud, ugly, and violent.
Mm-hmm.
And you start making dumb decisions that you have to, you're digging yourself in holes that you're going to have to dig yourself out of if you want a successful marriage.
Right.
You're going to have to. Because many times emotions is the only thing that make a man go crazy. You can have all the money in the world, but emotional. Mm-hmm. Literally. Sex life can be great, but emotional. You're eating good, but you're emotional. And so when being honest, you got to take emotion out the picture.
Correct.
Why do I feel like this? And this is when you got to have data. Literally. Mm-hmm. You got to have some examples.
You got to do some mirror talk.
For real. Like, you got to say, I feel this way about this because of this. Mm-hmm. Which means that you can't just let everything slide. Like, I had this habit. What I would do is I would see something, and because I ain't finna let nothing mess me up. Like, I ain't nothing finna just have me depressed. Mm-hmm. Literally. Nothing about to have me all, anxious and I can't see straight. I can't eat because my stomach is knots because this happened. I'm finna eat good.
Man, you always gotta eat.
I can't sleep because I can't get this out of my mind. Man, I'm finna be snoring. I see it 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning when I wake up naturally.
Yeah.
But you let so much stuff slide. You got to get it, digest it, put it in your archives, so when the time for the conversation, you can say, babe, I feel like this. I'm finna be honest with you. This is how I feel, and these are my reasonings. You did this. And I don't understand why. These things that's happening right here, it's making me realize that maybe I don't know you.
Also, I would even...
As well as I thought I did.
Yeah, I would even add to that, though, that asking yourself those questions not only allows you to get to the root of the problem, far as seeing, the difference and the flaws in the other person, but it allows you to see the flaws in yourself. Mm-hmm. Because there have been many times where I would feel a certain way about something that you might have done and I didn't like it, but it was coming from a place of insecurity within myself. And so it wasn't necessarily that you had the issue. I had some healing to do and some security to start having within myself, so I could not see something differently than what it was actually being, revealed to me, or what it was being towards me. And so I feel like sometimes when we sit down and have the mirror talk and ask ourselves this question, it allows us to get to the root of both spectrums, far as from a spouse spectrum as well as from self. Because I feel as though things that you go through in life, especially as a child, people were brought up without fathers, people were brought up without mothers. So there are certain traumas that people have attached to them. And so you can be not receiving what your spouse is trying to give, or taking what your spouse is doing in a negative perspective because you still dealing with unhealed trauma, from your childhood, from your past, or from a previous relationship. You feel what I'm saying? And so I feel like asking ourselves those questions, like you said, helps us get to the root of the problem for not only the spouse, but for yourself as well, because it ain't always them.
So I'm trying to wrap my head around everything you just said. So I'm about to give you an example,
Okay.
and I want to let you know if this is an example that you would approve of to
Okay.
establish what or to prove what you just said, because I agree with it. I just want to understand it.
Okay. And all that get an understanding.
So if we're struggling sexually, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I ask you, babe, I think that we should, try some new stuff, try some new, positions, whatever case may be.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that you dealt with this in a previous relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And you dealing with that in a previous relationship, you end up finding out that your ex was, used that to cheat on you because the girl that he was cheating with knew a little bit more, or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if I was to say that, is that something that can trigger you? Like, is he doing something, or is he, what does this mean? Because the last time this situation, was addressed, the results was I got cheated on, I got played, I ain't, he was impatient with me, whatever the case may be. And so, if I was to say something like that, is that what you mean by you dealt with some triggering in your past,
Mm-hmm.
and you can approach that in your marriage,
Mm-hmm.
which will cause you to not see things as clear as you need to see it because of what has previously happened
Correct.
in a past relationship?
Correct. Because the healed version of you would be okay with being transparent and being honest and being open about something that has happened in your past and why you see this like this, or why you know what I'm saying, still struggling to get to that point, or whatever the case may be. Like, the healed version of you, or the healing version, like, because it's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
The healing version of you would not be so quick to respond the way that you used to respond. And so here it is in my marriage, and I am actively healing in this thing. So when my husband asks me this question, if I haven't already brought it up to him first, because that's something that people need to start doing as well. Don't let somebody, you know what I'm saying, assume something that you're dealing with. Like, open and honest communication. Hey, this is something I struggle with. This is something that I'm healing towards. And, until I get to that point, I would like for us to, so that the person can know what they're getting into. You know what I'm saying? But that's just neither here nor there. But yes, the healing or healed version of you would be able to approach this conversation not off of not be a trigger response, but a healed response. So, yes.
I like that. It's a healed response.
Right. Yes.
Not a trigger response. Okay, I like that. So being honest. So basically, being honest is you responding to whatever the situation is with logic, without emotion,
Yep.
and with a healed mentality.
A healed mentality. Yeah,
with a
I
healed
like that.
mentality.
A healed mentality.
I like that. That's tight.
Yes.
And so,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Want to add to that the little nugget that we learned from being honest. Also, don't always look at the partner as the problem. When it comes down to being honest, be honest with yourself as well.
right. That's hard.
Be honest, and it is.
Now we're gonna go navigate to something else now.
Yeah.
I mean, get serious. Look at them, realize what you got an issue with, but also look at yourself. And the struggle is what I don't like about you. I'm not gonna be.
Ooh,
All right.
I like that.
Yeah. What I like about you, I'm not gonna be. So if I don't
What
like
I don't like about you, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be.
What you say?
I'm just trying to make sure I'm hearing you right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What I don't like about you, I'm not gonna practice.
Right.
And so if I don't like the way you talk to me, I'm gonna talk to you nicely.
Exactly.
If I don't like the way when you ignore me, I'm not gonna ignore you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm gonna be what I want you
What
to
I
be.
want to see. Yes.
Exactly.
Right.
You know.
Correct.
It's like love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna treat you the way I want to be treated.
I was just finna get ready to say, marriage literally is based upon biblical principles. Like, it's based upon, for instance, the fruits of the spirit: loving, patience, kind, gentleness, long suffering. All of the things, these are things that you not only apply with how you treat people in general in the kingdom, as whatever. This is what you have to apply in your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I see that my husband or my wife, for the men, like, your wife is not responding to you in a gentle way,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go tit for tat.
Right.
I'm not finna do that. For one, I'm finna be in prayer. I'm finna lift up my spouse to God.
Don't repay evil.
You know what I'm saying? For one, if they can't, if I'm seeing that trying to, approach conversation, want them to tell me what's going on, what's making them switch up like this, if they're not at that point, I'm finna go on my altar. I'm finna be in my closet. I'm finna lift up my husband, or my, husband's gonna lift up their wife. Their spouse, yeah. I'm gonna lift up my spouse. But at the same time, dang, I lost my train of thought.
No, you're right.
Oh yeah, fruits of the spirit.
Yeah.
I'm going to operate in the fruits of the spirit. I'm not going to go tit for tat with them, because what is that going to help?
Right. I like
Who
that.
is that going to help?
I'm gonna pray for you, but we also gonna have this conversation.
Yeah.
And
sure.
And we're gonna have this conversation, and
Yeah.
I'm going to embody the very fruits of the spirit. I'm gonna have self-control.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be all right, and we're gonna pray. But I think it's scary, but I think a lot of marriages don't work because people try to be so spiritual. I like the way you said, like, I'm going to pray, like I'm going to go in my closet. I'm going to, during my personal time with God, I'm going to lift you up. I'm going to pray that you become your true self, your better self, and we're gonna be able to communicate and do what we need to do on a peaceful, righteous level.
Yeah, right.
However,
I'm
not finna just let this thing slide now. Like, we got to talk about this.
We finna get to the root of this issue.
We finna talk. And see, folks pray to God, but don't talk to their spouse.
They don't come. Ooh, Jesus, you said something right there.
And that's ridiculous.
You said something right there.
And you have a misunderstanding. If you can talk to your God, but can't talk
to
your spouse.
Come on now.
When he said that what God bring together, let no man separate. So why would he do it? You won't. That's your own misinformation. But we got to move on.
Yeah, because we can
just be honest. Be honest. Be honest. We gave you a lot of little nuggets. Please be honest. Also,
part 2.
Don't feed into your own negativity. Because when this thing happened, and when it hit you like a ton of bricks, I deal with that right now. It's like I just be feeling strongly about stuff. And then a couple moments, couple minutes, couple hours, couple days, I'm like, why would that bother me like that? And you can be so strong, but what it called is emotional immaturity. Your emotion takes over what you know needs to happen. And we do it so often in our day-to-day lives that when it comes down to a relationship, when it comes down to talking to our spouse, that we don't know when it's there. We can't discern when, our emotions is getting the best of us. And so we go along with those emotions and we digging ourselves in this hole that we have to dig out of in the next couple of minutes, next couple of hours, next couple of days. Like, you got to have all these weird conversations that you probably would have never had to have if you wouldn't have said nothing crazy to your spouse. Like, you shouldn't have said that.
Right.
You know you shouldn't have.
Or done that.
Or done that.
Yeah.
Like, you know you shouldn't have responded like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was an inner voice that was telling you, there's a better way.
Yeah.
But your emotion was so strong in that moment. I just gotta say it.
Just being honest, I feel like that is connected to our relationship and intimacy with Holy Spirit. And the reason why I say I feel like it's connected to is because the word says that he'll bring to our remembrance. Holy Spirit will bring it to our remembrance when we are going through things. So it's like, how can God reference him as a wise counsel when, like, he says he's our wise counsel? So why do we not think that that also does not apply to the way we are with our spouse when it comes down to our responses? Like, I don't think people understand. Well, I'm just speaking for myself. That small voice that I hear, that ain't my intuition. That ain't my, my inner self, or whatever you want to call it. No, that is Holy Spirit telling me, hey, don't say that. Say this. Or, hey, this is not a time to have this conversation. So just simply respond with, okay. Or, hey, you're on your cycle right now. Your hormones are everywhere. Stop believing all them thoughts that's coming right. Shh. Be quiet.
So you think a man's cycle is when the bills ain't paid? When he hungry?
So that means y'all be on y'all cycle year round. Y'all be on y'all cycle year round. Women, this is just prayerfully, because there are those that experience different things. But this is just a once a monther.
But yeah.
What you talking about is that's
seriously though. It's just realizing that maybe what I'm feeling is not true.
Yeah, for sure.
Thinking.
Yeah.
Think. Because this your person. This your person. Why if you was to see words as bullets, why would you shoot them?
Oh my God.
Literally.
Yes.
Why would you maim your life partner?
Exactly.
When you're going to be the one that have to carry the extra weight. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put you in the best situation. So this train, this movement, this whatever traveling agency that we are having, that it can be operating the best that it can operate.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna cause you to ride with a donut. I'm not. Anybody know what a donut is? It's the wheel, it's the tire that you put on your car when the original tire has blew out or something wrong with it. And see what happens is when you start saying stuff, you start doing stuff, you start planting certain seeds, what you're doing is you are literally letting air out of tires.
Correct.
You let air out of tires to the point that the inevitable will happen and that you will have to do something, change the tire, manage the tire, put a donut on there. In other words, you will have to make a temporary fix.
Yeah. Ooh.
And it's temporary. So it will have to be addressed again. And so don't allow your negativity to take you down this road. Because coming back down the road, see, you going down this road, you allow negativity to take you down this road. But when you in this zone, you don't realize you're tearing down trees. You disrupting other relationships. You're blowing out tires. You as you're going down this road, you're making a mess.
Right.
But what we don't think when we're in that place, we're super emotional. What we don't think is, this will have to be addressed. It will. But going is easy. But coming back will be most difficult.
Right.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
When you going, is smooth, but you're making the mess as you're going down that path. You allow them negative thoughts. You allow certain actions, certain deeds to just take you down through there, and you're making the mess. You make the mess. You make the
And
mess.
because it feels good to
And it
you at
feel
the
good,
time.
yeah. Because sometimes you ever
You
see
don't-
people
you don't think
go,
about
go,
the
they want to punch
repercussions.
They're gonna punch a
Yeah.
punching bag. Like they
Yeah.
angry, they frustrated, and sometimes just hollering is healthy. Like sometimes, I ain't saying holler at your spouse. Sometimes getting those thoughts out, writing them down. I mean, just letting yourself feel like you're being heard. Sometimes it's healthy, but you don't always have to
It's the way, yeah.
do it like that. Sometimes it is your negativity, and you have to get by yourself. But just know that when you're going down this path of destruction, literally, that you got to revisit it,
Yeah.
because we talking about staying together. Like,
Right.
only way you don't have to revisit this is if you get a divorce. But if you're trying to make this thing work, you're gonna have to go down that same road that you destroyed, and it's gonna be hard.
Yep.
It's gonna be difficult,
Yep.
and you're gonna have more negative thoughts about trying to revisit a situation or road that you damaged.
And not only that, but keep negative passenger seat riders out your car too. Like community, I am very big on community and who I have around me as an individual, of course, but also as a unit. Like, you cannot have people, first of all, you cannot have people who are cheering you on in your negativity.
Right.
You literally have to have people within your circle that, for one, I don't care, we believers of God here. So for one, who are not believers of God, therefore they can't even comprehend nor understand the majorness of this covenant that you all have made. So if they don't even understand that, they can't help you. They can't give you no, they just gonna be a cheerleader. They gonna be your oohs and ahs, really just there to get information, to be nosy.
Right.
They ain't gonna be the ones that's gonna be like, nah, baby, come on, we finna go pray. Nah, sis, this is, let's go here. Like, you have to have community that's gonna keep you on that narrow path, not be a passenger seat within the car that you're going down destruction. And they just constantly edging you on.
Yeah, they in it for the ride.
You know what I'm saying? They edging you on.
They
They
like,
spicing you up.
I'd have been through this already. I like this ride.
You know what I'm
Or
saying?
at least I don't want to experience this ride by myself. I want to see my friend
Woo!
go down this.
I want my
road.
friend to be just
Yeah.
as
miserable
and as negative as I am. And so who you have in your circle, who you have in your community while going through these things, because it's marriage, you are going to go through seasons.
Most definitely.
You're going to go through, see, whoever told you this is going to be a happy-go-lucky, the Milky Way, everything is always perfect, nothing wrong ever happens. I don't know who told you that, but it's a lie. Now, how we go through this is definitely different, because you don't have to be arguing all the time. Arguments can just now be conversations.
Right.
They can just be disagreements.
Right.
But who you have in your community, though, who you have surrounding you as you're going through these different seasons while in your marriage, it matters. You have to have wise counsel.
Most definitely.
You truly do.
Wise counsel.
Wise.
Yeah.
And wise don't mean age.
Right. Because
Or the number of years that somebody has.
Yeah, because everything is not wisdom.
Yeah.
Literally, everything not wisdom.
For sure.
Sometimes you can be talking to people that been married umpteen years, 20, 25, 30 years, but they toxic. And they have gotten accustomed to a toxic environment. And so you go in that same environment and y'all can't even stand each other.
Correct.
But because they've been in this environment for so long,
They just
that
know
toxic
how to,
has been normalized to them. So what they're doing is they're giving out toxic.
Exactly.
And so you taking it as wisdom, but really it's toxic.
Exactly.
And you think it's gonna work like, oh man, it's getting information.
Because
but
they've been
stuff
together
getting
for
worse.
so long. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff is getting worse.
Exactly.
As you're implementing or applying their wisdom. Well, I don't know if I'm in the camera. Their wisdom, things are getting worse.
Yeah.
It's because you can't accept information from everybody. Put it like this: you can't eat off everybody's table.
Correct. Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
Can't eat off everybody's table.
For sure.
Some people cook with whole milk.
You lactose intolerant.
You can't eat off everybody's table.
You need almond milk.
Yeah, you need something else.
And you don't even want the plain almond milk. You want the vanilla almond milk with the hint of honey.
I mean, you have to just be very discerning.
For sure.
You will know them by their fruit.
I was just finna get ready to say that. You have to look at the fruit.
You have
to look at the fruit, and you have to allow the spirit of discernment to guide you to who you should, Lord, who should I seek wise counsel from? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You have to, because going off of just appearance, but especially with our generation, social media is like the biggest scam of it all. People can portray whatever they want to portray when it comes down to social media.
Right. And
so here it is. Here you are judging your marriage, basing the foundation of your marriage off of something that you see on social media. And she look as happy as ever, but you don't even know behind the camera, her man probably hitting her upside the head 15 times a day. But since they look happy, and since they look successful, I want my marriage to be like that.
And then here it is.
And here you are.
Like SpongeBob, 2 years later.
2 hours later.
You see something on Shade Room. Suddenly, getting a divorce. What?
And you like, what? I thought they were so happy. Yeah, that's what social media does. Social media is just it's people show you what they want to show you. People can make anything look like anything. And I think that's a problem that we have when it comes down to our generation specifically. We have people in our generation who literally just look at all these influencers and just look at all these marriages just as out here, you know.
Yeah.
And you
maybe I'm just different. I don't be studying them.
I don't be studying people either, but like I would be lying if I say that I didn't used to before I became more biblically sound, you know, for one, to know what a marriage actually is supposed to look like and who I am as a person. But like you got people who out here that is their wisdom. Yeah. Social media is their wise counsel. Yeah. And so we have to get away from that. That's something that can add to those negative thoughts as well. You over here thinking this about your man, you get on social media. Why my man can't be like that? Oh yeah. Why my wife can't be like that?
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, stay off of social media. Get off of it. If you ain't disciplined enough to not, just get off. Just get off of it.
Especially like you said, you know them by their fruit. Yeah. They post is not fruit.
It's not.
I mean, when the lights are on and the makeup is on and they got the cologne on, that is not fruit. You see real fruit. Yeah. And the struggles of just being at the house. For sure. You saw real fruit, the real marital fruit during COVID when everybody was stuck in the house with their spouse because divorce rates skyrocketed.
Yeah. Because you had to be here.
You had to be there with this person like, oh my gosh.
Like,
who is this Negro? Who is this Negro?
There was no distractions.
Yeah.
There was no, I'm going to work 8 hours a day and we only got to spend time with each other about 2, 3 before we go to bed. Right. Kids, distraction. It was just you. It was just you and y'all. It was just y'all.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand with me and Janaya is that, man, we could be around each other all day and be chilling. Like, don't get me wrong. Janaya, she'll do something to get on my nerves, but don't get on my nerves like that. You know what I'm saying? It just be her being her. And I just be like, you are so dramatic, you know. But we literally could be in the house all day for multiple days. Long we got us something to eat, watch TV. It's plenty of stuff to do at the house.
Need him something to eat.
You know what I'm saying? But it's plenty of stuff to do at the house. But can you be your mate's your spouse's friend.
Yes.
And so when you're getting advice, when you're getting wisdom from people, sometimes you got to realize that the fruit that you're looking for may not be at its ripest.
Yeah.
Sometimes the fruit you're looking for, sometimes it may be hidden in the dark places. And you will know a person's fruit by their conversation.
Correct. Ooh,
Look at that conversation.
For sure.
You've been married for 25 years, but you bring up divorce 3-4 times a week.
Like,
You ain't, come on, man.
for real.
And so I can't eat off your table
Yeah.
because you offering me divorced food.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Mm-hmm.
You lukewarm.
For
You
sure.
double-minded.
For sure.
You unstable in all your ways. You can tell
Yep.
based off your conversation. When I tell you, I got people, I'm not mentioning no name, that bring up divorce so often. I'm like, I guarantee you, anybody that know me, and you know somebody that know me, that converse with me on a regular basis, ask them how many times I bring up divorce. Never. It's not even in my vocabulary.
Right.
Like, I don't care how upset I am. It's not in my vocabulary.
Right.
That is not an option.
I was gonna say.
But
it's
see,
not even an option. Yeah.
We have so many options.
We think
We think we do.
we got so many
Okay.
options.
There are a plethora of people out here that act like they can do a better job than the woman or than the spouse that you have.
They feel like the grass is greener.
Yeah, for
on
sure.
That
But the water bill high too.
Yeah. Ooh.
Grass greener, yeah, it's greener because they watering that sucker.
That man said the water bill higher too.
They
I
water.
never heard
The
that.
water bill high too.
Dorian with the sand.
But see, literally, you got to look at people fruit for real.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
look at your conversation. You got 1 foot in, you got 1 foot out. You are promoting, you are planting seeds, you are putting these words in the atmosphere, saying that, oh, if this happened, I'm gone. Or if the door right there, she can just go over and hit the door if she want to.
Yeah.
I'm cool by myself. Like all these thoughts,
Exactly.
all of this negativity.
You already got your escape plan. You already got your plan.
You're not
B.
all the way in, so you
know?
don't know how good it can be.
Exactly. And if you got two people who are thinking on that same logic, like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make sure that this works. So when you got two people who thinking that, it's like you got both people pouring into this cup. It's not only one person that's doing all the pouring and the other person just doing all the receiving and the other person ain't receiving nothing. You got two people constantly pouring into this cup. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, that's what makes it work. That's what keeps the negative thoughts out. That's what makes it easier to be honest. That's what helps make it be easier to communicate. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it just makes it.
Stop being attached to easy. Literally, nothing in your life is easy.
Nothing.
That would be ticking me out. None in your life is easy. When you went to school, hard. Had to learn a whole bunch of new stuff. And here you go. You sat up here and went to another school, which is college, which harder. And you got your bachelor's. Then guess what you do? You went and got your everything in your life is hard. You have to learn how to drive.
Or you went to a trade school and you had to learn how to do that.
You have to learn how to drive. Hard.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that you have never done before will have a season of difficulty.
Right.
And the more you learn it, the easier it will be.
Exactly. Yep.
And that's marriage.
That's good.
But see, what happens
That's
is
good.
we have been so accustomed to thinking that it's just supposed to be a walk in the park. We
Right.
have allowed the misconception of love
Yes.
to tear the truth out of
Yes.
our marriage and the walk in marriage.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, please, listen to this. No, I'm telling you. Watch you sit right here. Listen to what I'm saying, because these folks will literally sit up here and have you thinking that everything is a walk in the park. Everything is so simple. Everything, it may okay, put it like this. Everything is so easy. It may be simple. It may just be talk.
Right.
It may just be don't say nothing crazy to your wife. It may just be faithful. It don't mean it's easy.
Exactly.
But it's simple.
The instructions are simple.
Yes.
However, the details and how to operate with said instruction, it's not a walk in the park.
It ain't walk in the park.
It's not a walk in
And
the park.
And so when you hearing the preacher or whoever say your vows, it's so easy to say them.
Right.
It's hard to live them.
Yep. It is.
When you say to death do us part, that means from where I am now to the day I breathe my last, we got to just figure this thing out in between. Yes, and it's not going to be easy. It's not. But you have to have in your mind that I'm not going to allow these crazy people who have never been married, who have not been in a relationship for more than 2 to 3 years, give me relational advice because you barely know about relationship yourself. You just read them in books. You probably went to school, but you ain't really been in the gutters and mud holes of a relationship where you are sleeping beside the person that, the sake of the podcast, I don't know. But I love you enough to get to know you over.
Get to know you over and over.
And it's a continuous process.
Yes.
But it's a continuous process that's worthy and that's worth it. Because what you're doing, and this is what gets me to, what you're doing is you're teaching the next generation how to be married.
Yeah.
But if there is a lot of divorces that's going on, there's a lot of failed marriages that's happening. Now every situation different. But when you just walking away because you don't feel like it, you just walking away because you tired.
They don't make you happy no more.
They don't make you happy.
That word happy,
man. It's ridiculous, and it grinds. What did it say on what was that Family Guy? You know what grinds my gears? It grinds my gears because why would you even get into this? Why would you even why would you put this term, which is marriage, on the line? You put it on the line. You know what happens if every time you read about somebody driving a Toyota, they broke down? You know what happened? I'm not buying a Toyota.
Yeah, you ain't even getting a Toyota.
Give me a Ford, give me a Nissan, give me something else. Because every time I heard that name, it's attached to broken down.
Exactly. Don't work.
It don't work.
Yeah.
Not worth it. Work too much. And so when you get married and you're not fighting truly, you're messing up the term. You're putting baggage on the term. And so every time people hear marriage, they're going to think about you, and you're adding fuel to the fire, all because I'm not happy. All because I feel away. All because they not listening to me. All because you got to make this thing work. Stop looking for an exit.
You got to ask them questions.
Ask them questions. Y'all got to make it work. Now,
and
like I said, both of y'all got to make it work. Now, I'm not saying that you just try yourself to death. No, I'm not saying that. But both of y'all need to make it work.
Be equal.
Yes.
It definitely has to be equal.
Both of y'all got to push through this thing because it's worth it.
What's the next topic? Because we running out of time.
Yeah, we out of time now. Yeah, we out of time now. I kept a timer. But we can do a part 2, though. I'm cool with this part 2. And then we can do one on love language. But
I just like how we discussing this on here.
No, listen. Hopefully all this will make it to when you actually post it. But just keeping it raw and uncut.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm me, y'all.
I was going to say, I don't
listen,
really...
I'm 30 years old. All I know how to be is me. Shucks.
I just don't... Now that we're actually here and doing this, I don't see how people can do scripts or... Because it's not authentic. It's not genuine. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the reason why some podcasts are more successful than others, because you can see that this is not scripted. This is raw. This is uncut. Right. This is off the dome, whatever you want to call it. But anywho, since we are out of time, there will be a part 2 on next Thursday. And then, as you all have heard, after that, we're going to be talking about love language.
We'll
so,
see. We're gonna be led by the Spirit.
We'll see. I feel like that would be a good topic, though.
That's cool,
Because that's something
give me
that
something to look at. Because I've heard people talking about love language all the time, friends.
Because
Like,
the fact
what's y'all
that
love
you
language?
do not know your love language is an issue.
I don't believe in that stuff.
It's not that. It's not a belief. It's about knowing.
I know myself. Listen, just don't be mean. Be compassionate.
Okay.
Okay.
Look at you. You are stating what your love
but see,
language
I'm pretty sure they got bullet points. They got certain love
Oh yeah,
languages.
it's definitely
you know
a whole thing.
I ain't have to read no book to know that.
Yeah.
I just know what get on my nerves and what don't.
I mean, you know yourself. You know yourself.
I know what get on my nerves and what don't get on my nerves. Guess what? Love. And guess what? It's a language.
It's a language. I can't deal with you.
Anywho, we will see y'all next week. Thank y'all for tuning in.
This man here. Thank
Much
y'all
love.
for tuning in. 1207
1207
podcast. See y'all next Thursday.